Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 28th day of December. Today is National Chocolate Candy Day. Well, for me, I celebrate that one year-round. It is also National Card Playing Day. It is Holy Innocents Day and Pledge of Allegiance Day today. Also, Friday, December the 8th, I've got a quote here today. It is, "Too low they build who build beneath the stars." Edward Young. Too low they build who build beneath the stars. He's saying, you know, don't build a lot of things on earth. Build those things in heaven. So,
okay.
Edward Young said that. And I've got a guest coming up in the program today. I'm going to visit with award-winning documentary filmmaker Tim Samuels, recently featured in National Geographic Channel's Explorer program. Going to visit with him a little more about that and find out what he's up to. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Heidi, tell me, the honors in Olathe, Tennessee. The honors.
A golf course.
Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Golf course.
Yeah, it is a golf course. Of course it's a golf course. I can't imagine a rehab center called that.
Me either.
But you never know. This
Me
is
either.
Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Florida man tried to trade a bag of marijuana for some food at McDonald's. He was rebuffed by a drive-thru worker who then dialed 911 to report this unorthodox barter attempt. Police allege the 23-year-old Anthony Gallagher ordered food at McDonald's about 1:30 in the morning. He pulled his Pontiac up to the drive-thru and he allegedly produced a clear plastic bag that contained a green leafy substance. He offered this marijuana in exchange for food that he ordered. The manager of the McDonald's there said, no, and then called 911. By the time police arrived, he had left the McDonald's parking lot. However, at about 2:05, he returned to the drive-thru where he was pointed out by police, or he was pointed out to police, rather, by the manager. His vehicle was hard to miss since it had a surfboard protruding from the rear window, and he reeked of marijuana and had loose cannabis all over his vehicle. That's not good. In addition to a possession rap, he was charged with driving under the influence. So, yeah, this is the prime example of what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. A federal judge ruled that Harvey Weinstein's sexual assault case will move forward to trial and will not be dismissed as he requested. Why would you think they would just...
Can we just forget about
He's
this?
like, hey, why don't we just call this water under the bridge, huh? We've all had fun, haven't we? Okay, apparently not.
Some more than others.
Yeah. The Kardashian-Jenner sisters announced they will be shutting down their apps in 2019. Heidi,
Oh, no.
brace yourself. Are you okay?
Oh, no.
Do you need a shoulder to cry on?
However will I go on?
Do you have any other apps?
I didn't know they had apps.
I didn't know that either. There's probably somebody listening right now that really is bummed out. And for that, I'm sorry. The new Halloween reboot was one of the biggest box office hits of 2018. I am sad to say I didn't even see it. Did you see it?
Nope.
Have you heard anything about it?
I've heard about it. I have no
Anything
desire
good?
to see it. I watched the trailer and I saw the Michael and he was terrible.
Yeah, he looked like something from like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah, he
I was
didn't
like,
have... I mean, Michael Myers had certain movements.
Like a swagger.
And he didn't
I don't know
have
if that's really the right
any
word.
of that down. It
Yeah,
was horrible.
It was not great. We didn't see the movie, but the trailer didn't make me want to see the movie. But it was a big film for 2018. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. The biggest marijuana grower in Massachusetts has been temporarily shut down by health officials because they've been spraying their plants with harmful pesticides. Well, that's not good. If people are going to be smoking this, you wouldn't want to spray harmful pesticides on there.
But
You'd think they would know that.
Everybody
No.
spray their crops with
But
harmful pesticides?
Not with harmful pesticides. You need to make sure that it's not so harmful, Heidi.
Okay.
So these guys apparently were trying their own product. They're like, what's this stuff? I don't know, just try it, man. It'll be fine. A parrot in the United Kingdom, this is awesome, has been using the owner's Amazon Alexa to order packages and play music for himself while he's home.
Oh, funny.
So he's like, "Bark, play a song."
Oh, funny.
I probably didn't do that right. "Bark, buy me some stuff."
I wonder what he's ordering.
It doesn't say. Maybe if I clicked the link and read the story. I didn't read the story. I just read the headline. I thought it was a funny, very funny headline.
He probably likes having somebody to talk to. He probably talks to that thing all day long.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of fun. I think if that were the case, maybe you put a little, like they put the little blanket over the bird cage when they want to sleep. Put a blanket over the Alexa when you leave.
I wonder who taught the bird to say Alexa to begin with. That
Well,
was probably a huge mistake.
If he's just listening or she's just listening, he or she is going to learn. And if they realize that, hey, this magic
That's
box in the corner.
absolutely beautiful.
When I say that word, which we won't say again because there's probably several of those going off around the area, but when you say that word, it starts listening and does what you want. Well, of course, if I was a parrot, I would do that. Yeah, Polly
Funny.
does want a cracker. The son of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been banned by Facebook now. So I'm not sure what he was up to. Maybe I don't want to know. I have no idea. But he was banned by Facebook. The Census Bureau announced that the U.S. population is growing at the slowest rate in 8 years. So nobody's in the mood these days, apparently, is what's going on. The slowest
That's all right.
rate.
We could stand to slow down a
Oh,
little
could
bit,
we?
I think.
Here's the thing that I think is sad. Like, we've got a son that's 22, not interested in having kids. We have a daughter that's 17. Had to think for a second there. Just not really interested in having kids.
Well, I hope not. She's 17.
Well, I understand that. But, like, even when you talk to her about someday, and she's like, oh, no, I'm not, no.
I always said that, too, though.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
See, I remember when I was
wanted to have kids. I just didn't want to have
oh,
kids.
I see. When I was like 5 years old, I was already talking about having kids.
Yeah, and she's that. Well, yeah, you didn't have to have the kid.
I was just planning all the things that I would do differently than the way my mom and dad did it. Love you, Mom. But no, I'm serious. I was like, oh, when I have kids, I'm not going to do this. Because I didn't like onions, and my mom would cook things with onions. And then she'd say, just eat it. You can't even taste it. And I'm like, why are you putting it in there then? What's for flavor? Like, Mom, I'm 5, but that doesn't add up. I don't know what you're talking about. Moving along here. A Roometrics survey found that 1 in 4 Americans check their cell phone within a minute of waking up. I'm one of those.
Yep.
Mine is literally, that's the first thing I
Me
do.
too. It's the first thing I do.
And I usually wake up before my alarm goes off. But if my alarm goes off, it's on my cell phone.
Yep.
But usually I wake up before it goes off. Sadly, it's usually a few hours before.
Yeah, I've been waking up at 3:30 every morning for some reason.
Maybe we should be getting more sleep. A European study found that women frequently disguise their voice to lure men into sex. The study found that women make their voices sound huskier when they're around a man they want to be with. Do you do that?
I don't know. Do I do that?
I don't know. Usually when you're walking around the office, you're talking to everybody else like this, and you're like, hey, John, how are you? No? It's not quite?
I don't think so.
She sounds like Minnie Mouse out there.
Barry White all of a sudden.
Hi, everybody. So apparently, according to this, women frequently disguise their voice to lure men by making their voice sound huskier when they're around a man they want to be with. So you have to pay attention. Man, if you hear a woman that's talking to you like this, maybe she just wants you. Or she just smoked a carton of cigarettes. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day. And what says I love you better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts? Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another. And wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have Tim Samuels joining us, and he's featured in National Geographic Channel's Explorer. You can see that on Monday nights at 10, 9 Central, and we've got him on the program right now. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm speaking to you from London. So,
right.
Right from the other side of the pond.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here. I see you're a documentary filmmaker, a broadcaster, and an author, and you kind of keep yourself busy from the sounds of it.
I do. I tend to get thrown into fairly strange situations. So thanks to Nat Geo, it can either become a face-to-face with a crocodile in Australia or having my sperm count tested in New York. It's never an entirely predictable experience.
That's awesome. Now, with the new National Geographic Channel Explorer program that you're a part of, what are we going to be seeing you do on that program?
So we'll have just seen me actually look into the whole question of sperm. I think some of that is still available online, looking at how men's sperm counts have really plummeted in the last 3 or 4 decades and what's to blame for that. And if you watch that, I think you might think definitely about plastics afterwards. But coming up is a segment looking at crocodiles in the Northern Territory in Australia, which were kind of on their way towards extinction. And they kind of developed a pretty unusual way to bring them back from the brink. They realised that if you just see crocodiles as these kind of mortal enemies, then no one's going to love them or look after them, and they're kind of slowly going to get pushed out. So they kind of took a different view, which was actually, how can we put a value on crocodiles? How can we make them good to humans instead of being the enemy of humans? How can we monetize them? So they allowed the crocodile skin trade to flourish up there, and there's like $100 million industry.
Oh, wow.
Because it employs people, and people are making money out of it, there are jobs and stuff, it's kind of changed the whole relationship now. So rather than just seeing crocodiles as these aggressors, they see them as a kind of, to mix up my animals, a bit of a cash cow. But having said that, they still do run into humans sometimes, and it doesn't always end well, but people are more accepting of that because they see they're part of the greater good. So it's this kind of strange, changing relationship between humans and crocodiles in Australia.
And what time frame did that change take place? Is that something that happened over the last decade, or has that been going on a while?
Yeah, I mean, it's really sort of noticeable in the last decade. If you go back, I guess, for 20 or so years, the crocodiles were much more threatened. But, you do come across some strange stories. There was a woman I met whose daughter had actually been killed by a crocodile. She was out swimming in a pool of water, and when crocodiles are in murky water, they're especially hard to spot. They are evolved over millions of years to be one of the most fearsome hunters out there. And so, having lost her daughter, she's actually now a crocodile farmer herself. You go to her place in the outback, and there are these huge channels filled with water and fortunately fencing, where there are crocodiles that she's breeding, which are then sold off, to turn into shoes or handbags or purses. And it's a sort of really strange psychological way to react to having your child taken by crocodiles to then end up having a crocodile farm yourself.
That's a very interesting, I don't know if that would be an interesting revenge, because now she gets to take it out on every crocodile for forever. I don't know, it's just a really weird way of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah, and she knew psychologically it was a really strange reaction to it. But it's sort of her way of dealing with it, and she said, she now makes a living. She supports herself through crocodiles, but it's weird that there are hundreds of these things, not that many feet from where she lives. But it's a different mentality, I guess, when you do live in the outback. Your relationship with nature is just that much more different than ours would be.
That is bizarre. Again, our guest today, Tim Samuels. He's an award-winning documentary filmmaker, broadcaster, and author, and he's also a part of the program on National Geographic Channel's Explorer. You'll be able to see that Monday nights at 10, 9 Central. Now, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. If people would like to find more of your work, can they find you online somewhere as well, Tim?
Yeah, they can indeed. If you just put in Tim Samuels, it should bring some stuff up. And then I have a podcast which launches in January on the BBC, but available in the States as well, which is looking at some of these kind of wellness issues and some of the interesting stuff I've come across, like probiotics with National Geographic as well. That's another segment that's coming up soon.
Well, very cool. I will throw a link in our show notes to make it easy to find Tim online. Tim, thank you again, sir.
Thanks so much, John. Have a good day.
Again, Tim Samuels. He is one of the people that are featured in National Geographic's Explorer. You'll find that on Monday nights on National Geographic Channel at 9 Central. Again, I'll throw a link with more details in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Got a silly constitutional amendment thing that we're going to talk about. A U.S. constitutional amendment proposed in 1893 suggested the country be renamed the United States of Earth. There was another failed amendment a few years prior that wanted to abolish the presidency and install a Roman-style Triumvirate? What? Triumvirate? I don't know what that is. As if the United States needed any more comparison to the Roman Empire, but they wanted to actually do away with the presidency and have that. What is a Triumvirate?
I have no idea.
I'm not saying it right. Triumvirate. How would you say that?
I don't know. I bet our son would know.
He probably would. So anyway, that's what they were planning back in the 1800s, and it did not happen. So there you go. Been a fun fact, though, on this Friday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day and what says I love you better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts. Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another and wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Time now for the word of the day, and today's word is forswunk. Forswunk. This is the grandiloquent word. What do you think forswunk means? F-O-R-S-W-U-N-K-E.
I think we've done this one before, and I do not remember.
We have done this one before, and it is exhausted after physical exertion. So, for those of you who worked really hard on making plans for Christmas and made all the stuff and wrapped all the stuff, maybe you're a little forswunk right now. Do you think?
I know I am.
Yeah, Heidi is quite forswunk. So that's today's grandiloquent word. I've got another source for words. I might start dipping into those because they're using a lot of the same ones now. Yeah. But I also know they've been busy planning their calendar. They've got a 2019 calendar they've been working on. So we'll have to wait and see when the calendar comes out. Maybe we'll use that. Maybe we'll use something different. But either way, we'll have today's word of the day. Today's is forswunk.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You wonder what the gift is for today, don't you, Heidi?
I absolutely do.
You always
Edge of
do.
my seat.
Edge of your seat excitement. It is a grenade ice cube maker. So you can make an ice cube that looks like a grenade.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be one heck of a bomb for a drink, wouldn't it? Okay, moving on. GoFundMe refunded donations from that scam. We talked about this.
I saw this online.
$400,000 went back to 14,000 donors who were irate. They donated because they thought this homeless veteran from Philadelphia, did something nice, and these people started a GoFundMe. Well, it turned out to be a giant scam. It goes back to 2017. A homeless vet gave his last $20 to a couple so they could get gas stranded in Philadelphia. Turns out that's not what happened, and he didn't get much of that money, and they got quite a bit of that money. It says They were using the GoFundMe money as, quote, their personal piggy bank, end quote. That's too bad. Here's the thing. Don't quit doing good things for people because of some people who are not so good. But it's really sad to see that they did that, and it's very good to see that it's now...
Yeah, these people just met at a casino, and they made up this
hatched
whole
the plan.
scheme. Yeah.
And they were right. People fell for it.
Oh,
People
yeah,
loved
they
it.
did.
If you want to know more about it, whatever I just tried to say, if you'd like to know more about it, there we go. I've got a link to this in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Federal court records show a Florida man duped a Texas school district into transferring him about $2 million. Then he used the money to buy a BMW and some Rolex watches.
How would you dupe a school system to send you money?
Records show that 61-year-old Donald Howard Conkright was arrested and charged with wire fraud. He's in custody of U.S. Marshals. A manager for a school district received an email in October saying the construction company that works as a vendor needed to provide updated banking info, and you owe us money, and then they sent it to him. They sent $500,000 is how much they sent to a new account. The next day, he sent a $1.4 million payment to that same account. The authorities later discovered the fraud, and they began an internal review. So He reached out saying, hey, you guys are building that school. We're not going to get started until you pay us, so you need to send the money. And they sent the money to him. So next time, double check that before you send $2 million.
Holy cow.
Crazy. That's why it's today's moment of duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this fake news or is it something that really truly happened in the great state of Florida? A man was busted abusing 911 after he called to report a stripper who refused to give him, quote, boom boom. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
No, thank goodness this is fake news. That was a very good one, by the way. Thank you to the people who send those in. I get people that send me the stories that are almost always unbelievable, but I also get people that will send me fake news, which I really need help with because I'm a terrible liar. Every time I have one, you almost never believe it. You did believe one last week, though.
I did.
But usually you don't believe mine. So if you would like to be on the team of Fake News or Florida and see if we can trick Heidi, first of all, if you see a funny story from the great state of Florida, you can submit those, or you can make up stories and send them as well. All of that at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. We've got a bus driver that saved his money from every paycheck to buy Christmas presents for all 70 students that ride on his bus. How cool is that? Aww. What a super sweet dude. A compassionate school bus driver went above and beyond the call of duty to show his students that there are some people out there that do care, and he's one of them. Curtis Jenkins. He's been a bus driver for the school district in Dallas, Texas for 7 years. However, he wanted to do something special for the little passengers during the holiday season. He originally wanted to host a gift exchange, but then his wife remarked on some of these students might not be able to afford a gift. So instead he thought, you know what? I'm going to buy gifts for everybody. There's 70 students that go to Lake Highlands Elementary School. Asked every student, what do you want for Christmas? And then he waited until the last day of school before winter break, and he loaded the bus with wrapped gifts and doled them out to the kids. When I opened that door, one of the kids said, "Are you Santa?" Oh. Seeing those faces on the kids was more than anything I could ever do with that money. How cool is that? I've got a link to this story. There's photos on here as well. He looks like such a nice guy. and there are bicycles, and there's all kinds of things. So this is
how sweet.
I don't know how much this dude saved
is
up,
that?
but it's a really, really cool story. So I've got a link to that in the show notes. I love the good news every single day. Doesn't the good news just make you feel good?
That's awesome.
If you'd like to submit good news stories, you can submit those too. That's also through JohnandHeidiShow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We'll talk to you next year. How's that sound? Thanks for listening. Oh, I guess Monday is the 31st. We'll talk to you later this year. I should have looked at the calendar first. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.